Welcome back to the SMT Media Network. In this video, I want to take a moment to discuss some of the commentary out of LeBron James and his agent, Rich Paul. Speaking on the state of the roster and the state of the LA Lakers, where they are relative to their competition. He was speaking on his brand new podcast, which, if you think about it, this is like unheard of. An agent starting a basketball commentary podcast is just crazy to me. But that's a discussion, I guess. That's a different topic. But it ties into this, and here's kind of where I'm going with this. The LA Lakers are trying to compete in the Western Conference, and they're doing a really nice job. If you look at their record, if you look at some of their wins, they're doing a really nice job this year. I think J.J. Redick has made some solid improvements as a coach. I think he understands his roster better. I think he understands what he wants to do as a team in terms of how they play offensively, defensively, those kind of things, and in terms of rotations. And I think to give the Lakers credit, they did a nice job of improving the roster, bringing in guys that could address some of the flaws that they had last year. And of course, Luka coming in and being in shape, and Austin Reeves continuing to kind of, I don't know if you want to say level up or develop or whatever the case may be. The thing about Rich Paul and his commentary, he's basically saying that the Lakers aren't getting the most out of what they could be. He's saying that they could be better if they change some things. One of the things he said, namely, and it's why I made this video, was changing how they utilize Austin Reeves. He's basically saying Austin Reeves should come off the bench. The Lakers would be better if he was not in the starting lineup, and he would come in a similar fashion to what the San Antonio Spurs did with Manu Ginobili. Now, in and of itself, it's not a bad idea. Here's the problem. The problem is it's basically a situation of him being a mouthpiece for his guy LeBron. And I think the reason for this is the fact that LeBron is no longer viewed as the centerpiece of the team, and I think he's uncomfortable in that place. I think he still feels like he needs to be the man of this team. The sad truth is he's delusional, or I should say the agent pandering to the player. It's just unrealistic. Nobody who's in their right mind looking at this from a basketball perspective thinks LeBron should be the centerpiece of this team. And unfortunately, I don't think LeBron's going to get his way. I think in order for this team to continue to win and get better and evolve and all the things and prepare for a playoff run, which they want to do, right? The Lakers want to make a deep playoff run. They probably think they have the potential, based on their players, to get to the Western Conference Finals, right? That's probably what they believe. You can argue, whether or not you think that's true. But there's no version of this team that's better with Austin Reeves coming off the bench. It's not the same dynamic. It's not Greg Popovich. It's not the roster construction that the Spurs had. It's not what the Lakers need. What the Lakers need is actually LeBron to understand that he's no longer the focal point of the team. And actually, they'd probably be better off with him coming off the bench. So in the irony of it all, they're clamoring for Austin Reeves to come off the bench. It's actually LeBron that needs to come off the bench. We have seen on multiple occasions since he's come back from his quote-unquote injury, the sciatica to his left butt cheek, it's really a situation where he can't provide the same offensive gravity that he once did, right? He would better serve his team if he was doing more for them off the bench. In fact, think about that dynamic. He's still a very capable offensive player for stretches and for moments of the game. He just can't sustain it, while Austin Reeves can. Austin Reeves has proven that he can provide for an extended amount of time in a game and for stretches of games. You know how we know that? Because he did that very recently. When LeBron was out, when Luka was unable to play and took games off, Austin Reeves carried. Asking LeBron to carry at this advanced stage in his career is unrealistic. And it's also, I think, a self-inflicted wound if you allow him to dictate that. And trust me, there's some of that happening here. J.J. Redick is constantly trying to massage LeBron's ego while still keeping him engaged and making him not look silly. But the problem here is we've got a player who is disconnected from the truth, and he's trying to muscle his way around roster construction, roster manipulation, and he's basically trying to call his shots, and he's just not that player anymore. So when I made those videos in the preseason and postseason last year saying that the LeBron circus was going to continue, absolutely. This is the residuals of that circus that still remains, even though LeBron simply is not the player he used to be. See, the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, and the Lakers are stuck with LeBron for this final year at his $52 million contract, and he's just not that player anymore, but in his mind, he must really believe that he still is. Unfortunately, it's not the case anymore. LeBron will not be, the number 2 on this team. He's the number 3, and there's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, he's just uncomfortable with it. And the Lakers would be better, actually, if LeBron came off the bench.